Continuing on with the Clone Wars and the Obi-Wan Undercover arc, I hopped on over to the next episode on the list, Season 4, Episode 17, The Box. As we know from the previous episode, Obi-Wan has gone undercover as the assassin Hardeen in order to unearth the plot against Chancellor Palpatine's life. So, Cad Bane, Moralo Eval, and Obi-Wan fly down to Dooku's palace on the planet Sereno, and they're greeted by Dooku himself on the landing platform. Apparently there's a little tournament Dooku is putting on. Bane, Eval, and Obi-Wan agree to take part in it. We cut to Yoda talking to Anakin. Yoda does tell Anakin that it was wrong to keep him in the dark about this overall plot, but then Yoda says that Anakin is unpredictable and dangerous to both his friends and his enemies. Is this the first outward acknowledgement that we've seen in the show from Anakin's fellow Jedi about his conduct? At least someone this high on the top of the spear like Yoda is. While this interaction was short, it was powerful. Anakin learns the truth. Anakin learns that the Jedi have been keeping secrets from him, that his friend is still alive, that Yoda has doubts about him, and might even fear him in a way. Anakin's patience is being tested. He's a proactive guy, he's a go-getter, he wants to help his buddy, but all he can do at the moment in order to protect his friend and ensure the success of the mission is to follow Yoda's guidance and sit idly by. I think this is killing him inside. He wants to do something. This plot pulls at everyone, especially Anakin. The deception, the heartbreak of loss, the realization that things are going on without your knowledge. I'm curious how he's gonna act or not act when faced with all of this knowledge. Small and incremental moments that lead him down his inevitable dark and dastardly path. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm gonna kind of predict that I'm not going to like this episode that much. I know that's kind of a dumb way to approach it, going in with that thought already in my head, and I'm only like 5 minutes in, but I'm predicting that the vast majority, if not all, of this episode is gonna be centered around this tournament that Dooku mentioned, which I doubt will be that interesting or exciting to me, but we'll see. So we cut to Bane and Obi-Wan talking among some other nefarious individuals. First of all, I love Cad Bane. Whenever he's on screen, I'm kind of in Star Wars heaven. I love me some seedy folks, and Bane is the seediest of the seedy. His moral compass is all over the place if he even has one. He takes what he wants, he shoots first, and never even thinks to ask questions. He's in it for the money, and he sounds like he smoked one too many cigarettes. I just think he's a really fun bad guy. We see numerous bounty hunters standing in front of Dooku. He introduces all of them. Some of the bounty hunters are marksmen or technical wizards. They all seem to have their own individual talents. The concept of this meeting is awesome to me. Bounty hunters meeting up, perhaps competing for a big job, who knows at this point. But this meeting of the minds, where we see so many different types of alien bounty hunters, just smells like grade A dingy and musty Star Wars cologne, and I love it. So the idea of this competition is kind of growing on me the more we learn about it. Dooku lays out what exactly the competition is. All the bounty hunters will enter this box. Only 5 will be allowed to leave. Only 5 will be selected for this particular mission that they're trying out for. These 5 will be paid handsomely, Dooku says. And what I found most interesting and sinister is that if more than 5 of the bounty hunters make it out alive, the ones not chosen for the mission will be killed in order to preserve the integrity of the mission. So this would seem to be the selection process for those who will take part in the plot against Chancellor Palpatine. So I kind of like it. The box was designed by Moralo Eval, and he says that it will present scenarios that the bounty hunters might encounter in this particular mission that they're trying to compete to be a part of, which is interesting. One thing I kind of wish happened before they walked into the box was maybe one of the bounty hunters started to chicken out or something and didn't want to go in, maybe realizing that he didn't really have that much of a chance of survival. Maybe he wanted to back out, maybe he didn't want to participate, and then was just killed right then and there on the spot. I think something like that, while not totally necessary, would have shown kind of how much Dooku meant business. So the bounty hunters begin to walk into the box. The first challenge involved Dioxis, a poisonous gas, and pillars that move up towards the ceiling. Obi-Wan finds a way out at the bottom. If you've seen the episode, you know what I mean. So this challenge seems to test one's ability to think fast on their feet and stay calm in sticky situations. Everyone survives the first event. The next challenge involves more movable pillars with what seems to be makeshift lightsabers at the end of them. We cut to Dooku and Eval. Dooku senses something being different about Hardeen, and it's at this moment I think he kind of begins to suspect something is up. Obi-Wan figures out how to clear this event as well. He's kind of saving the day with all these events. But because of his ability to quickly overcome and figure out these obstacles, he's kind of putting a big target on his back, or might even raise suspicions. In the third phase, shields begin to slowly move towards the crew. There's some kind of shield blocking agent thingy that will only work on one bounty hunter. He sticks himself with the needle to give him this shield blocking whatever, and is able to pass through the shield and flip the switch, turning off the shield. These events are kind of hard to explain unless you've seen the episode, and if I tried to explain these events in detail, this video would be like 30 goddamn minutes long. The events in this competition are like levels in Mario, jumping from platform to platform, unlocking areas, finding your way out of rooms. I initially really liked it, but at a certain point, the challenges kind of got monotonous and a little bit too much of the same, and I don't know, but that's just me. So after the last phase, there are only 6 bounty hunters left, I believe. Dooku begins to doubt Evol's box and says maybe Hardeen should lead the mission because he's doing so well. I guess I was wrong. I guess Dooku isn't suspecting anything at this moment, at least not yet. The next phase of the challenge is a marksman challenge. A fast-moving target pops up on the wall, a bounty hunter begins to fire at it, hits it twice, misses it, which sends him falling down into a fiery abyss. If someone misses this target, the platform that they're standing on kind of gets smaller and smaller and smaller. The challenge becomes a challenge for Hardeen and Hardeen alone. His blaster runs out of charges and the platform begins to move out from Obi-Wan, but at the last second, Cad Bane saves Obi-Wan and tells Evol that if he's gonna kill him like a man. Dooku then tells Evol to basically fight Hardeen, maybe to the death, so it seems. But Evol is a schemer. He fires off some booby traps, but eventually it becomes a hand-to-hand fight. Obi-Wan has Evol in his grips. He could have killed him if he wanted to, but he refuses to kill him. So the episode ends with Dooku telling them the plan, the plot, what they're going to be doing. They're going to capture Palpatine and demand that the Republic release all Separatist prisoners, and if their demands are not met, they'll kill the Chancellor. I liked this episode on its own. I thought it was consistently fast-paced and fun throughout. We saw some ingenuity, we saw how cutthroat Dooku is, we saw a selection process for the galaxy's most nefarious bounty hunters. I liked it on its own, as its own little package. But in terms of fitting into this overall arc, I think I would have liked to have seen something different. This felt like a little detraction, a little shift. I honestly think I would have preferred Obi-Wan, Bane, Evol, and Dooku on their own, plotting a mission, executing that mission, and moving that plot forward. Honestly, this arc could have just been 3 episodes. I just didn't think this episode was really that necessary to the overall arc. I don't know why, but it just felt like a little out of place. That being said, as an episode, as its own thing, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was different. We saw a fresh side of the bad guys, how ruthless they are, and how a bunch of bounty hunters will seemingly do anything for the money. On to the next episode. HelloGreedo, out.